He didn't conquer kingdoms. He didn't earn glory in battle. But because of one decision, an entire civilization was erased from history. And the worst part, he had a chance to stop it, but chose not to. This is Paris of Troy, the prince many call a coward. But what if the truth is more disturbing? What if Paris was never truly free, and everything he did was part of a divine game? And in the end, this same man would bring down the greatest warrior in history. Stay with me. Long before the war, before Helen, before the gods, Paris was just a child. But even before he was born, his fate was sealed. His mother, Queen Hecuba, had a dream. She saw herself giving birth, not to a child, but to a burning torch. And that torch set the entire city of Troy on fire. The meaning was clear. This child would destroy Troy. When Paris was born, King Priam faced an impossible choice. Save his son, or save his kingdom? He chose the kingdom. The baby was taken, carried into the wilderness, and left on a mountain to die. No army, no crown, no future. But fate doesn't break that easily. A shepherd found the child and raised him as his own. Paris grew up far from the palace, living a quiet life, unaware that he was a prince. But destiny doesn't forget. And one day, the gods came looking for him. It began with a wedding, a celebration among gods. But one goddess was not invited. Eris, the goddess of chaos. Angry, she threw a golden apple into the crowd. On it were the words, "To the fairest." 3 goddesses claimed it. Hera, Athena, Aphrodite. None of them would back down. So Zeus made a decision. He would not choose. Instead, a human would decide. And that human was Paris. Imagine this. You are alone, a simple shepherd. And suddenly, 3 goddesses appear before you, each one offering something no human could refuse. Hera stepped forward. She promised him power, not just wealth, but dominion over entire kingdoms. Athena spoke next. She offered him glory, victory in every battle, a name that would live forever. And then, Aphrodite. She didn't offer power or glory. She offered something far more dangerous. Desire? She promised him the most beautiful woman in the world. And in that moment, Paris made his choice. Not as a prince, not as a leader, but as a man. He chose Aphrodite, and that one decision would destroy everything. The woman Aphrodite promised was Helen, known across the world as the most beautiful woman alive. But there was one problem. She was already married. Her husband was Menelaus, king of Sparta. And every king in Greece had once sworn an oath to protect her marriage. Paris traveled to Sparta as a guest. He was welcomed, trusted, honored. And then, He betrayed all of it. He took Helen and sailed back to Troy. Some say she went willingly. Others say she had no choice. But in the end, it didn't matter. Because this wasn't just love. This was an insult to every king in Greece. And they responded with war. A war that would last 10 years? When the war began, Paris had one chance to end it. A duel, one-on-one, against Menelaus. If Paris won, the war would end. If he lost, he would die. And for a moment, it seemed like he might fight. But when the battle turned against him, Paris did something that would define his legacy forever. He ran? Yes. The man who started the war refused to finish it. Saved only by Aphrodite, who pulled him out of battle. While thousands died, Paris lived in comfort, protected by the gods, while others paid for his choices. But fate wasn't finished with Paris. Because on the battlefield, there was one man no one could defeat. Achilles. The greatest warrior in the war. Stronger, faster, unstoppable. Entire armies feared him. And yet, even he had a weakness. A single point where he could die. His heel. And Paris, the man who ran from battle, became the one who ended Achilles. Not with strength, not with honor, but with a single arrow, guided by the gods. So what was Paris? A coward, who refused to fight. A lover, who risked everything for desire. Or something else entirely. A man, chosen by the gods, to play a role he could never escape. Because in the end, Paris didn't just choose Helen. He chose desire over duty, emotion over responsibility. And that choice destroyed a kingdom. If you think Paris was a coward, wait until you hear the truth about Achilles. Watch this next.